the fly, Tim, we look at our pre-tournament results of the World Women's Championship, also known as Day Zero. And this event is currently happening in Alberta, Canada. And it's really one to watch. Obviously, it is a big step towards the Olympics. Results here will be pretty similar to those in the Olympics, so definitely sort of a must-watch, especially if you are into the women's hockey game. It is a big event for them, and the rosters will be pretty similar from the World Championship to the Olympics, so you'll kind of get sort of a outlook on what's going to happen, and I think it really is a really solid start, especially because it was canceled in Halifax earlier this year. So it's really the first kind of time we've seen since the start of the pandemic that the women's game has coming back, and I think it really is a good step for them to start going. So how this kind of tournament starts is with the group play. So there are quite a few games. Each team plays each other in a round robin. There are two groups, and the groups do matter. So there is an A group and there's a B group. So in the A group, the round robin doesn't matter as much. It's more for seeding. So the top slot would play the lower group, which is the B group. So the top slot, who I think will be the USA, will end up playing Japan, or sorry, not Japan, but the third slot. Canada, which I think will be the 2 slot, will play the second spot in the B group. And then the third slot in the A group will play the first slot in the B group, and then 4 and 5 in the A group will play each other. So, you know, it is kind of important where you end up seeding in these groups, because obviously the top group is a lot better in the end. That's typically what happens in the quarterfinals, that it's 1 versus 4 and then 2 versus 3. And I think it is quite important to take note of that, especially as we get into that more standard group play, that these teams are going to be competing, especially in the lower groups, because obviously if you can take the top spot and play a lower team, especially in the B group, like a team like Japan or a team like Germany. The Czech Republic, I think, will be the one team in the B group that has a shot at making it far. I think they can definitely contend for a medal in this event, and I think in the end, especially if they can figure out their goaltending situation, I think without a doubt they can definitely contend for the bronze medal, and if they can get on the hot streak, I think they can definitely contend for gold. Overall, I think the definite winners of this event, not necessarily winners, but I think the favorites for sure, U.S. and Canada. Obviously, a lot of money every year does go into these sort of teams, and I think with Canada and the U.S. being so far developed, it's not much of a surprise that they're always kind of top 2. Last year, Canada did not get to the top 2, as obviously they were knocked out by Finland. But I think in the end, my sort of prediction is that Canada-U.S. will be the final gold medal game, and I am looking forward to see who can become the victor. And then sort of my predictions for the standings are as follows, where U.S. is 1, Canada's 2, Finland's 3, Russia's 4, Switzerland's 5 in terms of the group play. And then in the B group, Czech Republic, who I think is definitely going to be the favorite to win the B group, will be number 1, Germany 2, Japan 3, Denmark 4, and then the up-and-comer of Hungary will be 5, although I would like to see, I think Hungary definitely could contend for that Japan slot, and so could Denmark for that matter. I think Germany will definitely be second spot. I don't see them dropping too far. But in the end, Japan, Denmark, and Hungary, I think, will be the 3 teams that are really competing to get into that quarterfinals, rather. And then I am looking forward to see how they want to fight there. So yesterday they did play 5 games, pre-tournament games. They do not count towards the standings, but they do kind of get a tune-up. Obviously, first games, you can kind of get a look at who's playing what. The first game of the day, bright and early, was the USA beating the Russians 6-0. The truth is, the U.S. could have beat them by a lot more. The Russian goalies were hot, and I think really the Russians were lucky that it was only 6-0. And I think kind of that's how it will go in the group play, that U.S. will blow out most teams. The one game I am looking forward to is U.S.-Canada. As always, obviously there is a big rivalry there, but I think between the two, they will most likely play twice. I think for sure in the playoffs, for sure at least once. I hope so. I would like to see gold medal, but I could also definitely see semifinal if Canada or the U.S. doesn't make it necessarily to the top spot. But I am looking forward to see how they end up playing together. Obviously, they are 2 very solid teams. and very sort of depth teams, especially in the women's event. So we'll kind of see how they want to go there. The second game of the day was between is Group B play between Germany and Denmark. So Germany ended up winning 4-3 in a shootout. This was another game where it was sort of back and forth, a little bit more Group B play-ish. Not as great of a game, and obviously the skill level wasn't as high as, say, the U.S. And even the Russians. To me, the Russians did play better than Germany or Denmark did, but of course we'll see how they want to go with that. And in the shootout part, which is sort of the excitement part of the IIHF, I really do like watching shootouts. They are a big part of the game, and really, especially international competition when they are in the playoffs, I do quite enjoy that. Moving on to game 3 of the day, which was between the good old Canadians versus Finland. So this game ended up being 4-1, but Canada did pot 2 empty netters, so really it was 2-1. But Finland played quite a good game. Their goaltender was really hot, but Canada outplayed them completely. I don't see why Canada should be worried about that game. They played a great game, and then they kind of got rewarded at the end with the empty netters. But in the end, Canada outplayed them completely, and I think they deserve to win that game every time. And they do play them tomorrow, so I think Canada is definitely going to be the favorite walking into that. But of course, we will see how they play tomorrow. Moving on to game 4 of the day, Japan played Hungary. So Japan ended up winning 4-2, and really, for me, I don't think Hungary has much of a shot in this tournament. I think that they do have a little bit. Obviously, in hockey, you get a hot goaltender, and you can win pretty much every game. But I think Japan is sort of the better team here, and I don't think really that much of a competition was there. But with that, Japan did win 4-2. And then finally, the last game of the day, the late night game at 9:30 Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Switzerland did play the Czech Republic. The Swiss did win 4-2, as they should, being in Group A. But that game was really sort of the first kind of look at what Group A versus Group B really was. And I think with the Czech Republic, it really does make a lot of sense that they're up there. And I think really they could beat a team like Russia. They could beat a team like Switzerland. They could beat Finland, I think, if they can get a hot goalie. And sort of Finland's goalie doesn't do as well, because really the truth is Finland doesn't have that great of a team behind their goaltender, but in the end we'll see how they end up doing. So for tomorrow, there are 3 games on tap. So they open up with the Czech Republic against Denmark at 2 o'clock Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So I think the winner of that one will be the Czech Republic. Overall, I don't think it's that much of a surprise there. I personally believe that they are way better than the Denmark team will ever be. So with that, I think the Czech Republic will win tomorrow's game. And then moving on to game 2 between Canada and Finland at 6 o'clock prime time. So with this game, I think it makes sense that Canada wins again. I don't see Canada necessarily losing that badly. I could see them losing. I don't think they'll lose badly, and if they do, but I think Canada will win, and probably in a little more exciting fashion. I think in the end it'll probably be 4-1, 5-1 the game. I don't see Finland putting up like they did in the pre-tournament game. Final game of the day is between the Swiss and the United States of America, 9:30 Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And I really think this game isn't also not going to be that big of a competition, with the U.S. taking it quite handedly. And I really think Switzerland doesn't have that big of a shot in this tournament anyway, but that still remains to be seen, as of course, that's the nice thing about the game of hockey, is that no one is ever safe from a hot goaltender. So we'll see how they end up doing tomorrow. I think it will be an interesting sort of a day, seeing the first kind of real games since the start of the pandemic. And I would like to see how the Canadians do fare up against Finland. I think Finland and Canada will be the game of the day, because I think U.S. will be a blowout, and I think Czech will be the blowout. But if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. If you'd like to drop a like, consider subscribing, tell all your friends about it, leave a comment down below your thoughts on day 0 of the World Women's Championship. Until next time, see ya.